Snyder here. Today I want to talk to you about the Tops Knives SXB, Skullcrusher's Extreme Blade. Now I designed this knife out of necessity. And the reason being, when I was on my first extreme survival challenge in Tanzania, my knife broke and I promised myself I'd never let that happen again. My fault, I used the knife way outside its limits. No excuse, because extreme situations require an extreme blade. I designed this as a survival fighting knife, one tool option. Let's talk about some of the features of this knife. It's approximately a little over 15 inches long, has a just over 9-inch blade, 1/4-inch thick steel, 1095 high carbon steel, so it will throw a spark. The blade itself again is about just under 10 inches. The handle, even though I have a large hand, there's a reason why this handle is extra long. We'll get to that in a minute. It's extremely sharp, comes with a thicker, fatter end down here, which is about 3 inches in width. It's for chopping, and if you choke up on it, you can do smaller jobs with it. So this is not only a big task knife like chopping, but it's also a small knife task, because you got this draw blade right here. A smaller draw blade makes incredible feather sticks, and when you're chopping wood, you can get that bite end in there and it really digs out the wood. So this is a really great knife, does a lot of great shaving and planing options for you to do. It comes with a saw blade back here. It's the Tops trademark saw blade. That's not for sawing down trees, folks. That's for survival, for traps, making grooves and notches in your traps. You know, making grooves to make equipment hold together better. Comes with attachment points. These attachment points, you can lash this knife to a staff to make a halberd or a spear, and it's got the Rocky Mountain grip, which is great because you see these grooves in here, and when you wrap your paracord around it to cinch it down to the staff, it really grips it really hard. It's flat and it works well. You also have this right here, that socket, so when you're going to do a bow drill and you need a socket handle, you got one right here with you. So the other nice feature up here is this jinting. This jinting can be used for your thumb to choke up on, but it also, if you're knife fighting, when the knife blade comes up here, it catches in that groove and you can parry afterwards. Lastly, we have a Skullcrusher on the end of this thing. Now most Skullcrushers in the market are about a 1/2 inch. This one's a full inch, so when you grip on it, if you don't have gloves on, you're going to smash through a windshield per se. You've got 3 inches of clearance there. That's why it's made a little extra long. The other great thing is this will smash coconuts and melons really well, and if you run into a bad guy that you need to make the point known, that you go ahead and hit him with that, okay? Now, if you want to really get some good power for chopping, you bring your hand back away from this nice finger groove control point here, reach back there, and then when you chop, brings in all the extra power. The knife is well balanced, lightweight, and good for fighting. So if you're going to do basic knife fighting, you can do the basic movements with this knife. The balance is perfect. The great thing about this weight on this knife, it's been created so that if you're chopping, weight goes to the head. If you're thrusting, the weight gets behind the knife. If you're smashing, you can do that too. The flat end has been used as a hammer. Now again, to this weak point here. People think this is a weak point in the knife because of this thinness right here. And they're like, oh look, you got a rivet right there. If you break this thing, I want to know how you broke it. This is a very strong, tough knife. You don't make garbage with Tops knives. And if you break this, I want to know how you did it. We've actually stuck the tip of this thing into a tree and pried with it. It's never been broken. A 170-pound man has stood flat on this blade and it hasn't even bent. So let me tell you something. I wanted them to design a knife that was as tough as I was, could rise to the occasion when you need it most, when your keister's on the line, and is high quality, really good, and made right here in the USA. Now that's the Skullcrusher's Extreme Blade, and I'm EJ Snyder. We'll see you next time.